Good afternoon, morning, evening. Wonderful to be back here with my spirited living community. Sitting here for a change in the garden of a dear friend on Long Island. Always love it when I can do this outside, which doesn't happen very often. So we are back this week to honor the divine feminine, once again, that exists in all of us, regardless of our gender. And I invite you to think about that and those qualities that our society has labeled feminine and often denigrated because they are feminine. We're here to reclaim that denigration, to shoot it out the window. Being compassionate, sensitive, intuitive, honoring our bodies, honoring our emotions, honoring our connection to nature. I don't know if you can hear the peepers around me, but that's a kind of cool way to do it. So all of those, and we all carry, as I say, probably just about every week, we all carry those divinely feminine qualities. Why is it divine? Because it connects us with our spirit, with our soul. And it is sacred, that connection that we have with the best and highest parts of ourselves. There exists also the divine masculine. And that looks like, really being able to use our mind for laser clear focus and be rational and logical and strategic. All of those are gifts as well. Sadly, we've been kind of tipped in that direction for several millennia. And now we're slowly, in the last couple decades, we're not really there yet, starting to balance the scales. So what I am doing here every week is really celebrating in very archetypal ways and very practical ways the gifts of the divine feminine, the gifts of all those qualities. If you want to see some of the things I've done in the past, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Goddess of One, and I'll be here every week doing this thing too. So this week I highlight a different goddess every week, because the goddesses from around the world, every culture, every tradition, really represent the archetype. They embody all these different traits, and I've just named a few here that we define as the feminine power source. And this week, it's actually a celebration, not particularly of this goddess I discovered after I dug a little deeper, but of her son, because it's actually, let's see, I'm pretty sure it was today. The celebration of the Roman holiday festival of Fontinalia, honoring fountains and wells and springs and fresh water. And originally, I love Patricia Telesco's 365 Goddesses. She outlines a different goddess every day, loosely tied to to ancient feast days, but not always. This one, she celebrated Fons, who was actually a Roman god. It's her mother. I'd like to bring in the feminine here. His mother, sorry, who was Juturna, Juturna, and her big festival was actually in the beginning of January. We're going to celebrate her today as the mother of Fons. And what happened on this day, back in Roman times, was that everyone gathered around fountains and threw flowers and covered fountains with garlands of wreaths of flowers and all kinds of beautiful stuff to celebrate the healing power of water. So we can do that in a modern day way in some very kind of magical, fun ways. Like, and I'm sitting here, I have a swimming pool on one side that's almost fresh water, not a lake, and then I have a water fountain over there. So if you don't, and back in my office, I do have a tiny little fountain that I run when I'm in my office. So find some fresh body of water and acknowledge Juturna and call on her and ask for her healing powers as this healing goddess of water. And she was, look at all my little notes, give thanks for fresh drinking water. And that means that one of the ways that you can in these modern times when fresh water is, and droughts. You know, we're increasingly experiencing droughts all over the world, and fresh water, we hope, will never be at a premium. But just like water companies are buying up, are trying to privatize water so that it's not available to the masses, to everyone. So a very practical way that you can honor Juturna, that you can honor the life-giving qualities of water, are to, you know, join some organization that really looks to provide water worldwide, more water in the communities that need it. Think about ways that you can cut down on your water use. Just ways that we can honor and really be conscious of water, as because we on the planet will not be sustained if you know, if we don't have water. We as human beings, something like 95% of our bodies are made up of water, and we die without it. So this is a perfect day. I'm wearing my blues today. A perfect day to really think of the ways that you can conserve water and celebrate water. And then, on a kind of a more magical ritual level, take a bath, take a shower, do a cleansing. What do you need to let go of? What can you flow? What, you know, so the shower is cleansing you. I sometimes just do that. I'll stand in the shower sometimes in the morning and just think about what I want to be washed away. It could be physical pain, it could be mental or emotional pain. What is it that you need to release into the healing waters of the earth, into, in this case, Juturna's healing waters? So, and just do a water blessing tonight before you go to bed, or over a meal at some point today. You know, take some water, ingest it. This is like it's like a communion, really. So hold water in your hand. In your hands. You could definitely splash it on yourself if you want, but hold it, in a glass, in a wine glass. You know, really celebrate it as not, or you could even do it with tea. That's okay, but celebrate it for the life-giving qualities that it gives, that it offers to all of us, and do a blessing. Do a moment of gratitude and appreciation for the ways that you connect with water. So there are certainly many times during the year when we can celebrate water. I loved knowing that this son of the goddess of, you know, the god of fountains, the son of Juturna, I may bring her back up again when her actual holy day, her actual festival day comes up in January. But this is a perfect time to join to join in perpetuity, or to join in spirit with the ways that the Romans celebrated Juturna, and particularly her son, on this particular day. Another way to do it, as I'm looking down again at my notes, to throw some flowers into some moving water, into fresh water, you know, a river or a lake. And, you know, and that can be a blessing. That's something, actually, and I've talked about this before, when we've celebrated the Yoruban goddess Yamaya, to float water, to float petals and flowers onto moving water. That's another way to honor the cleansing and healing qualities of water. So a little bit about, there's not lots of mythology that I could readily find on Juturna, except to say that Jupiter, who was the Roman equivalent of Zeus, turned her into a water nymph and gave her a well on the, what do they call it? The Roman, the walkway where all these where all these temples were. And apparently she was right next to the temple of Vesta, with the Vestal virgins. It gave her a temple and a sacred well. So if you've got a well, that's another example of honor, you know, how you can honor fresh water, and how we can honor the life-giving energies of water. I think that's all I'm going to let you know. And then she's about wish giving, which is probably, I suspect, where the tradition of throwing pennies and coins into water fountains, big public water fountains, and making a wish, kind of where that came from. Because she really, in addition to offering cleansing of our souls, she also would grant wishes if you made her an offering. So I would love to hear how you, just let me know, some way that you're going to either honor this goddess by calling on her healing energies, you know, if you're going to do it ritually or magically, or very practically, making a donation or getting involved with some sort of organization that that supports water for the planet and cleaning up our waters. You know, water pollution and drought, as I said, are big issues. And doing that, I call this calling on your inner goddess team. And we all embody these qualities all the time. I call it our inner goddess team because the divine, that's how I believe the divine feminine kind of rests in all of us. Some of the goddesses that I've talked about over the last year will resonate with you and some may not. So develop your own kind of pantheon, you know, like the Greek pantheon, or your own team of qualities that you most want to bring into your life. If you work in a very kind of masculine, patriarchal organization, it could be remembering to just set gentle boundaries, or, you know, whatever it looks like. Think about how you want to draw on the qualities of the divine feminine through a particular goddess, your inner goddess team, in whatever way supports you the most. And as I often do, I will share with you, it does eventually allude to salt water and the ocean, but this is one of my favorite water chants that I leave you with, that you can sing throughout today and the next couple days as you find your way to honor water. And it goes like this. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Thank you for celebrating Juturna on this day of Fontinalia. And I'd love to hear, leave in the comments whatever way you've decided you want to honor and celebrate water on this day of water celebration. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week.